Donald Trump is not the most pro-life president ever. He proves it every day. Whenever I hear Donald Trump described as the most pro-life president ever, I think, well then, I would not want to meet the runner-up. Pro-lifers, and yes, I am one, do not debate which people are people, or think of even the most remorseless criminals as less than human. These are not people, Trump has said of some of the immigrants being deported. These are animals. He's frequently called gang members and school shooters and terrorists animals. And he reportedly has no patience with animals. When some people are not people, well, anyone is eligible for demotion from humanity. The president's 34-year-old son, Eric Trump, recently said this of Democrats: "To me, they're not even people." That our commander-in-chief so cavalierly writes off whole wings of the human family, Mexicans and Muslims, and yes, any woman he sees as sadly no longer a 10, is a selling point with his base. Miss Universe Alicia Machado? Ms. Piggy, he called her. New York Times columnist Gail Collins? In his expert opinion, a dog with the face of a pig. He's often called Rosie O'Donnell an animal. More, it's offensive to disrespect Dianne Feinstein. She's 84, female and essential. More, Jolie, Paltrow and Harvey Weinstein, shock, regrets and nothing changes. You cannot really value life and speak this way. Because, as the president piously said at the anti-abortion lobby Susan B. Anthony List's annual gala last week, every life is sacred. We know that every life has meaning and that every life is totally worth protecting. It does, and it is. Only, every life includes those of people from whole countries. It includes refugees, who are some of the most vulnerable people on this earth, and of whom the president has said, "I guarantee you they are bad." I know how hard and thanklessly a lot of the people applauding Trump the other night have worked to protect unborn life. But it sickens me, strong as the pro-life movement has been in standing with the disabled, to hear them cheering a man who mocked a reporter's physical challenge. Who just recently called the Paralympics tough to watch. What's tough for me to watch is the president claiming that I pledged to stand for life. And as president, that's exactly what I've done. While attempting, with thankfully mixed success so far, to rip up air and water regulations that hit poor and minority kids hardest. We celebrate all lives, he said in his speech, after calling forward a darling, adopted 4-year-old girl who was born addicted to opioids. Except that trying to kill off Obamacare and cut Medicaid means a lot less addiction treatment for people like the biological mom of that angel in the sparkly pink dress. More, the Team Trump Men's Club, accused of mistreating women? You're hired. Policing the USA, a look at race, justice, media as usual. Trump marched off in a bunch of different directions in his 36 minutes at the microphone. He looked back fondly on one of the great victories of all time in politics, his own, of course. He gave a Go GOP Get Out the Vote pep talk to the theoretically nonpartisan group. And he preached the theologically vapid prosperity gospel, promising that as long as we have faith in our citizens, confidence in our values and trust in our God, we will never, ever fail. Our nation will thrive, our people will prosper, and America will be greater than ever before. And that's what's happening. And when we betray our values, what happens then? Believers oppose abortion just as we oppose violence in all of its forms, except in self-defense or in a just war, as a last resort. Right? Hello? For secular opponents of abortion, and there are many, it's that you don't have to believe in God to oppose violence. Trump's scolding rhetoric, asserting that athletes protesting police brutality shouldn't be in the country, for instance, and inhumane actions like separating children from their parents at the border, are the antithesis of that whole worldview. So if he's the most pro-life, what does that make us? Melinda Hamburger, a member of USA Today's Board of Contributors, is an editorial writer and a columnist for the Kansas City Star. Follow her on Twitter, @MelindaKCMO.